All right, what's up, YouTube? I know it's been a minute since y'all have seen my face. To be more precise, I think it's been about a year, but I was taking my dog on a walk. We're back from the walk now, so let's get right into it. I need you guys to look at this cap, this created player right here that I made. Ball player, as SDS calls it. They were nerfed this year. They kind of redid the whole archetype thing last year. There were probably like 30 archetypes this year as far as hitting attributes. There's only 9 archetypes, and it's broken down into 3 different categories: contact, power, and fielding. And as you can see on this cap right here, we got a little bit of everything in it. It took a lot of experimenting. Like, I tried so many different mixes and matches before I finally got it. I even took the time to max out all 3: contact, fielding, and power. So if you can give this video a like, this is going to be the most in-depth ball player video you'll ever see. I'm telling you right now, it's more in-depth than the one I did last year, and it's by far the most in-depth out of anything that anyone's going to be putting out. I'm telling you, I studied a lot of it. So first, I'm going to show you the archetypes so I don't waste your guys' time. If you already know about how Road to the Show works, about how ball players work, I'm just going to show you how I got my guy this good. And then after that, we're going to go into, if you're kind of new to this, how to go about making your ball player. I'm going to break down all the stats, the differences between the 3 in case you do want to try something else. But I'm going to break it down to save you some time instead of you guys going and experimenting with the same thing I did. You guys just have the cheat sheet. So here's my cap right here. Shortstop, 118 contact, obviously 111 power. The vision's even juiced. Fielding 94, arm 94. Reaction's not the best. Reaction I usually try to get at 90 or higher, just because sometimes those animations could be what makes or breaks like a really close, not a routine play, but a close play. Speed is solid, and stealing, we can still get that up to 73. And I'm going to break down all of that right now. So yeah, this is the cap. I'm going to back out right now. I'm going to show you guys the archetype real quick. So I'm using the tool shed archetype. This is while picking contact first. So when you first make your created player, it asks you, do you want to be contact, power, or fielding base? I picked contact, and then I picked shortstop. The position does not matter. The only thing that's different is if you pick a catcher, it's going to have a blocking stat. But aside from that, position does not matter. You're going to get the same 9 archetypes spread out through those. So 3 for contact, 3 for power, 3 for fielding. So tool shed is my main archetype. I have fielding 2, so we could get that reaction over 80. If I didn't use this one, then it was only going to be at like 79. Fielding 1, obviously, that's going to be +4 fielding, +4 accuracy. And fielding 2 gold, fielding 2 diamond, and fielding 1 diamond. And then power 2 just to get the power a little higher because the contact's already juiced. So yeah, that's all it is. Equipment, I got really good equipment, and I got that from doing the program, so I didn't have to buy much. And when you guys follow this method, you're going to be able to use the equipment that you earn through the XP program. So catcher's mask, don't have a catcher's mask. I'm not a catcher. Chest protector, have it just for the hell of it. Okay. All right, let's get into the stuff that matters. The glove that I have, +12 fielding, +8 arm. The rest is irrelevant. Accuracy is fine, but it's not that big of a deal. This is irrelevant. Cleats. I have this for 11 speed, 8 stealing, 10 reaction. That is very important. You're going to need the reaction boost because even when you max out your stats in Road to the Show, you're going to need a boost from equipment to get above that 80 threshold. You don't want it 70 or lower, okay? So that's really important. So I think there's one other cleat that has 10 reaction. Socks, that's just for speed and stealing. You could get a higher one if you want. The bat, this is a pre-order bat, +8, as opposed to like +6 or +7. This is the best one you can get. If you didn't pre-order it, just put one that's +7 or +6, whatever you have. Bat grip, I have this for the contact and power boost. Batting gloves, contact, power boost. Again, these aren't necessary. You can go with something lower and you could still get 100 contact, 100 power. Anything for hitting is not necessary right now. Again, +8, not necessary. This is expensive. I got lucky and I got it in my pack for playing Road to the Show. And then eyewear. This is also another important one. Needs to be 5 reaction. I think there's only one in here that has 5 reaction. So this is a must-have. You need that 5 reaction to get over 80. If you want to match my ball player to the T, you need those two, the ones that have the reaction boost. So now that we got out of... Why is it showing that I'm a starting pitcher? Okay, that's glitched right now, but that's fine. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, again, if you're not a beginner here, that's all you really needed to see. Otherwise, stick around. I'm going to tell you in depth how to get it to my level, and I'm also going to show you how to level up the base attributes aside from the perks and all that other stuff, because that's only going to get it so high. You got to do some of the stuff on your own. Okay, now that I showed you all of that, let me go over the archetypes. So Toolshed is pretty much the only usable one, unless you want a high contact, low power guy, which is fine. If you want high contact, high speed, then you could put on the Spoke. Fielding's going to be decent, nothing crazy. If you pick Dart, fielding's going to be insane, but the hitting attributes are just not going to be there. Power is going to be really low. So Toolshed is the best overall one. And say you clicked power instead of contact. The only difference is going to be, you see how the contact boost is plus 42 in the bottom left and plus 32 for power? The only difference for power archetype, when you get the diamond one that I believe is, what is it? The Duke? I believe it's the Duke. We'll go check that in a second. But the only difference is it's going to be swapped. So the contact is going to be plus 42. Power is going to be plus 32. So essentially the attributes are the same. It's just going to be flipped around, and you can move the perks around so that you get the boost in contact instead. So whatever you guys want to do, just make sure fielding is not good. Do not pick a fielding archetype. I'll show you right now. I'll break that down a little more right now. We're going to switch to... So these guys don't have anything grinded except for the archetypes. I'm going to show you the power archetype. So the best one for that, like I said, is the Duke. You can see the power boost is plus 42. Contact boost is plus 35. Now we're going to switch to a non-grinded fielding archetype. And the one that focuses on power for this one is El Mago. And as you can see, it's plus 45 fielding across the board, plus 35 power, and then contact is... Where is contact at? Contact is just plus 10. So the hitting's not going to be good. Do not pick fielding. If you pick power, you can get away with it. If you pick contact, you could... I mean, that's perfect. But if you picked fielding, you're going to have to make a new character because it is not going to look good. All right. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to be picking one of these archetypes that we haven't started yet. So let's say you're starting fresh with the new ball player. We're gonna guide you through that. So I'm going to pick contact archetype. Start a new road to the show by pressing square. Start new. Set up my ball player. Back out. It's already selected. And I know a lot of creators are saying to use a 0 overall roster. Do not do that when you're first starting out, and I'll show you why right now. Do not do that. So we're going to click use current rosters.
We're back at it with another season.
When you're doing this part, it doesn't matter what team you pick. I just like the Giants because that's my favorite team. Doesn't matter. You could pick any team. Once you're restarting with the zero overall roster, and I'll go more in depth onto that, then you're gonna want to, like, it's obviously gonna be important what team you pick. So I'll go into that. I know it sounds a little confusing right now. We'll go into it. So there's gonna be this cutscene. We're just gonna skip through this. Okay, that's finally done. You see our players 58 rated. We started off with contact. So if you're on next gen, the first thing that you're going to want to do is change your stadium assignment. If you're on PS4, I think you can still do this, but you're not going to be able to use a custom stadium. So if you're on PS4, pick Laughing Mountain Minor League Park because the ball flies. You're going to be able to hit a lot of home runs. If you're on PS5, then this is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go through every minor league stadium for National League. You can do it for American League too because there is interleague play. and I think one of the first series is interleague. So if you want to do that to make sure you're only playing at the stadium that you choose, you can go through all of them and do it. It might take a little while, but it's worth it. Don't worry about doing AAA and MLB, and I'll tell you why in a second. But for me, I already made a a custom stadium with max elevation. The walls are brought all the way in at 270 feet. You could find some of those in the vault. I think they're labeled in the vault, or you can just use mine if you want. Look up Shady the God, all one word, in the, under the PlayStation tag while looking for custom stadiums in the vault, and then click on the max elevation version of my stadium. My Attack on Titan fans, you guys know what this is. But yeah, once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and back out. And then go to settings. This is another important part. Let me move my face cam 1 second. How do I do this? Okay. So I'm going to run you through the settings that you were going to want to go through. Go to mode specific settings. Game flow, skip to next appearance. Fielding opportunities, keep it on none. We're not going to do any fielding. I know there's some missions inside of the archetype grinding that says that you have to do fielding. Ignore that. It's going to be a lot faster to just focus on hitting. Base running opportunities, we're going to ignore that as well. Put that on none. And then gameplay, put it on beginner. Beginner, they're going to throw a fastball straight down the middle every time. All you have to do is just put your PCI down and power swing. It's going to be a home run almost every time, even when you're at some of the other stadiums, but especially if you're at home. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, just gonna show you the archetype that we're gonna be grinding. So once you start with contact, it's gonna show you this slick spark plug, or you can switch to to slugging spark plug or speedy spark plug. It doesn't matter which one you use. They're all going to lead to the other three. It's not like last year where whenever you pick is going to lead to one. No, these all lead to the three. Like, they're all going to lead to the same three. So you could use whatever you want. I would say that you should probably use slugging spark plug because you're trying to hit home runs. And then you could put any perk you have. If you have any diamond perks already, that's solid. If not, just put some of the bronze ones. It doesn't really matter. It's going to give you a minor boost to hitting. Make sure that's activated. And so once you're on here, you could press square. I already grinded this out, obviously. But while you're grinding this, you're going to look at the XP at the bottom. 1500, 1500, 1500, 1500. Like, you're going to get a lot of XP. I already have the Face of the Franchise program almost all the way done. I think I'm level 30. And you're going to get a lot of free cards. So not only is this helping you make the best player on your team, a switch hitting god player, it's also going to be helping you build up your squad. And I'm going to show you guys my squad actually right now. But first, let me show you these missions. I know I'm all over the place. This is like the first time I made a video in a long time. Even back then, I've always been all over the place. So I apologize and thank you guys for your patience. So every 15 plate appearances, you're going to get 3 points towards this program. Every 10 hits, you're going to get another 3 points. And every 7 extra base hits, you're getting another 3. And then a one-time bonus of 10 points for getting your first hit. Stolen bases, assist, and putouts, we are ignoring. That's just going to slow you down if you try to focus on those. It's going to just make it take a lot longer. So you're going to earn these packs along the way. After those are done, then it's going to switch to the silver slugging spark plug. Then you're going to do the same thing all over again. It's going to be 20 plate appearances, 10 hits, 7 extra base hits, and then the one-time boost to 5 hits for 10 points. Once that's done, it's going to take you to the gold breakdowns of the master perk. So it's going to be tool shed, dart, and spoke. Tool shed's the one that I showed you earlier that focuses on hitting, and we're going to focus. That's what we're going to do. And same thing, a lot more XP, and now this is when you're going to get the diamond archetype. Again, I have all these done. Now we're going to click the tool shed, and then that's how you're going to get the god card. But for now, we're just going to keep it on the bronze one. And I'm going to show you guys right now what it looks like to actually do this. So we're going to press play next. You can't simulate,
We're talking about one of my
anymore
favorite picks in this year's MLB amateur draft, and I'm joined by
Last year there was a little bit of a glitch. They made sure not to do it again this year. So you're gonna press play game, click your default loadout, and I'm just gonna run you guys through it real quick. Don't worry, it's gonna be short, and then I'm gonna also show you guys how to once you max out the program, how to work on individual base stats. Okay, so oops, I didn't mean to do that. We're just gonna take a picture right there. So I'm gonna just anchor my. If you guys know how to anchor, it's a new feature this year. You lower the analog stick and then click it in, and then that makes it to where your PCI is just focused on the bottom. This is cool to use like if you're just. I finished this program while watching Netflix. I was paying no attention whatsoever. Sometimes I'll just keep the stick down or I'll just anchor it, and then it'll go down, power swing, and I don't know if that's going to be... we got a little bit too much under that. Usually they throw it right down the middle. That time they didn't. But I'll show you in the next at-bat. Anchored it down again. Literally only power swinging and not focusing on anything else. It's a base hit. Oh, I just realized I'm not using the right archetype, so my guy only has 35 power. So it might be a little hard to hit home runs at first. Make sure you have... I didn't put any equipment or anything. Once you put your equipment, they'll be hitting jacks. But there we go. We hit a no-doubt home run with only 35 power. Again, all I did was anchor the PCI down and press square to power swing. Now here's the thing. Once you power... Here. So yeah, we'll do it one more time. This should be our last at-bat of the game. Just holding it with one hand. That's going to be a double in the gap. And that's going to count as an extra base hit. And it's also going to give us some speed boost right here. Whenever you hit a double, you get speed. So that's going to work on your base stats, okay? So now what you're going to do is press play next game. You're going to keep going until it tells you to return to the clubhouse on the top left, which is probably going to be about 3 or 4 games. And I'll show you why you're going to do that. And as you can see, we got some points to raise our base attributes. Your base attributes all across the board start at 30. Everything that you do in-game that correlates to something is going to raise that base attribute. So power versus right went up about a third of the way to getting to 31 because we hit a home run and a double. Speed went up halfway just from getting an extra base hit and running to second. Stealing went up even though we didn't steal. I don't know if it simulated that we stole or something. I'm not sure. Fielding and arm accuracy and reaction is not going to go up much because we're not playing our defensive situations, but that's fine because you can raise it in the training, which I will show you in a minute. So yeah, we only faced a righty that game. We're not going to get a power versus left or a contact versus left boost. If you wanted to work on contact instead of power, contact swing when you're up at the plate. The problem is you're probably not going to get extra base hits unless you're at your custom stadium. But even if you hit a home run while contact swinging, that's going to be a boost towards contact. So once you start getting maxed out in power, or the opposite, if you start getting maxed out in contact, then start doing whatever the other one requires. Contact, press circle. Power, press square. All right, now it's going to go to the next game. I'm going to skip this just because it's more of the same. We're literally just going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be putting the anchor down, and I'm just going to be pressing square. And we're going to be hitting a no... I guess it wasn't a no-doubt home... It wasn't a home run at all. Okay, so this is why you got to play at the custom stadiums or at Lavy Mountain. Again, I know I don't have my power archetype on, but yeah. Okay. So we got those games out of the way. Now you can see it's grayed out in the left to play next game, which means we have an off day coming up. So we're going to press return to clubhouse. Okay, now that we have an off day coming up, we're going to view the calendar. You see we have an off day coming up. That's where it's going to give you time to focus on your training. And you could always simulate the training. You don't have to do it, and it's going to give you the same boost as if you got maximum on the training. I don't know what the point of even playing it is, but we're going to press play next appearance. And it's going to give us the option to hit the batting cage. This is only the first week of the season, so it only lets you do batting cage. Once we simulate to the next week, it's going to let you do all the other stuff like focus on speed, arm throw, arm accuracy, arm strength, all of that stuff. So right now, batting cage. So what we're going to focus on is contact versus left and contact versus right. Because, again, if you're just power swinging, you're only going to be working on your power. We don't need plate vision. That's going to go up just from simulating games later, which I'm going to show you all about that. Like just be patient. I know it's a lot to take in right now. Bunting, you don't ever have to work on your bunting. Leave that at 30. So yeah, we're going to work on contact versus left, contact versus right. It went up to 31 for both. This is where it's going to ask you if you want to play the game. You can if you want to, but you could just skip it and you're going to get the points regardless. As you can see, both of them went up to 31. Now my base stat is at 31 for that instead of 30. The highest it can get to for all of those is 50. That's going to be 50 plus whatever boost you get from your archetype, the boost that you get from each individual perk, and the boost that you get from equipment. So that's how we got our guy really high. I have it pretty much maxed out, okay? So this is going to be more of the same. I'm going to simulate through this. As far as you guys know, like, I'm just going to fast forward, okay? Just assume that I played this out, and then I will be back once the new training is unlocked. Okay, so we're back. Play next game, you see. It's grayed out. We just played 4 games, and now it's time to get ready for another off day. Coach is going to tell us, oh, now you can do this practice in your off day. Okay, so again, press play next. And we're going to see training facility. You could work on durability clutch, reaction or durability. That's not a lot. This always changes. It's not always going to be the same thing. For this, you would see that like reaction is important to worry about, but durability isn't. So ideally, you'd want to get reaction done with fielding, but that option isn't there right now. So let's check practice field. Right here is just fielding, but that's +2, so that is pretty solid. Or you can work on contact versus left and power versus left, which isn't a bad idea because it's hard to face lefties. There's not too many lefties in the minors that you're going to be facing, so you're going to mostly be getting contact versus right and power versus right up. So if you want to do this, this is fine. And then later, like, it's all going to balance out. You're eventually going to work on everything if you want to get your guy as good as mine. Batting cage is just contact versus left, contact versus right. If you're only power swinging, that's not a bad idea either. So just do whatever. I'd probably do this, contact versus left and contact versus right, just because I know I only power swing. Skip it again, and yeah. Okay, so remember me telling you not to use a 0 overall roster? The reason is because you'd be getting like 20 at-bats per game with the 20 overall roster because, with the 0 overall roster, because everyone that you're going to be playing is going to have 0 attributes. So your team is not, because like they tell you to pick that team so that your guys are good and every other team is bad, so you get as many at-bats as possible, which is fine if you're simulating. But if you're actually playing it out, you don't want to take 20 at-bats a game because then that's going to be 100 at-bats before you finally get another training. You want to get as much training as possible in between your games. And you can't just fast forward to these off days and train. It doesn't let you. SDS is smart. They don't want you to just kind of fast forward through it and just boost your guy up all the way without even having to play a game. So that's why you want to use a regular roster, but try to stay in AAA so that you don't have to keep changing your stadiums and so that you're not facing like amazing cards, which doesn't matter on beginner, but I like to stay on AAA. Another reason is because you can get traded. So this is what I do. File management, save, road to the show. And you're already going to have this autosave somewhere over here. Keep making, make 5 backups of the same save so that you can always go back and load that. If you get drafted to AAA or if you get traded or something, you can just go back and draft it. All of your stats are saved on the cloud. As long as you keep your character, don't delete your ball player, it's all going to be saved. You don't have to worry about road to the show saves. I could delete every road to the show save I have right now, and my ball player will still have the same attributes. Again, it's all saved online on the cloud. So now that you got the basics of how to level up your perks, because that's only the beginning. Like you could have, and I'm going to show you an example of this actually. Let's do this right now. I'm going to show you why leveling up your base stats is important. We are going to load one of, I already have my bad cap loaded. So this is a cap with just base attributes, and we're going to put the same perks that we had before. We're going to have fielding 2, fielding 1, gold fielding 2. Where is that at? And I believe power 1, power 2, power 2. Then we're going to activate it. And look at how much different this is going to be than the cap that we had grinded out. So 100 contact and a 91 power is not bad at all, right? But 55 speed at shortstop with 74 fielding, 79 arm, and 62 reaction is not good. That's why it's important to level up your guy. It's going to take some time, but I'm going to show you a way to get it done as quick as possible and efficiently as possible. But again, it is going to take time. It's an investment. Think of it as grinding for a 99 card, because that's what it is essentially. I mean, the game's only been out a few days. I've probably spent like, I don't know how long, honestly. To get the Diamond Archetype, it took me about 4 hours. And then I went and did Diamond Archetype for another 2 players. And then I went back and finished my attributes for my guys. So I can't really estimate how long that took. But I'm going to show you guys how to do it the quickest way. First, what you're going to want to do is go to create. So once you have your Diamond Archetypes, this is when we're going to use the 0 overall roster. Because we're not actually going to be playing any more games. Okay, so you're going to go to Vaults. No, Vaults? Yeah, go to Vaults, go to Roster, type in, or let me see if we could find any. Type in 0, I think. Okay, so any of these you can use. All zeros, choose Detroit, Lil Cookies. I mean, just do what I just did. Type in 0, and it's gonna tell you that the roster is filled with zeros. We're just gonna download that, or we're not gonna download it. You're gonna download it and then pick Detroit when you're making your road to the show team. Again, this is when you're done. This is when you're done with all that other stuff. When you have the Diamond Archetypes and the perks that you want. That's the only time you're gonna focus on doing this. Okay, you're gonna go to road to the show. Start new, and then you're gonna, when it asks you what roster you want to use, you're gonna click saved roster. Then you're gonna click whichever 0 roster you decide, and then it's gonna say choose Detroit. I think the one that I did was choose Yankees. So when I got drafted in road to the show, I chose the Yankees. Now my team is stacked, but every other team sucks. Now I'm gonna show you why you're gonna do that. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna press play next.
In the professional ranks,
and then you have to click play game. You can't simulate from the main menu. You got to press play game. You're going to press start, exit, simulate, and exit. Now, when you're facing a 0 overall pitcher, your team's going to put up like 30 runs. Sometimes it's going to go crazy and glitch, and you're going to literally put up like 700 runs, and it's going to boost some of your attributes +3, +4. So simulating does boost your attributes, your base attributes, based on whatever you do. What the hell just happened? Okay, I pressed the wrong button. So press simulate and exit, and then press circle, and it's going to skip towards the end. Right now, I went 3 for 5 with the home run, and this is with a regular roster. We just faced regular minor league pitchers. So once you're doing this against the 0 overall rosters, then it's going to be a lot better. You see our base attributes went up. Not a crazy amount, again, because it was only 5 at-bats, but it went up, right? Now what we're going to do is click it again. We're going to be doing the same thing. Act as if we're playing the games now, but as soon as you get your first at-bat, simulate and exit. Press circle. It's going to fast forward. Again, you want to do this with a 0 overall roster. I did not load it into this one just for the sake of not making this video too long. It's already going to be crazy long. What are we at now? 35 minutes. I'm gonna cut it down, but this is a long video. I told you it was the most in depth, and it is. So we're doing the same thing. And the cool thing about this is that we're still going to be able to do our trainings on your off days. If you just simulate at the main menu, it won't let you do your trainings. SDS did that because, again, they don't want you to just fast forward through without playing games and just boosting your guy to the max attributes. So for some reason, doing this tricks the game into thinking you played the game, and you get your training days. So this should be the last one right here. I'm just trying to show you guys how quick it is. And again, when you're doing this with 0 overall rosters, it's going to be giving you points. We're getting points right now, as is. All right, now it just returned us to the clubhouse.
For so many prospects,
And now we got another training day. So we just boosted all of our attributes in game without having to take a single at bat. And we're going to get another +1 to contact right and contact versus left. You're essentially just going to keep repeating that. It's tedious. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's something that's going to be overnight. Like, it's going to take a little while. One thing you could do is dedicate like 45 minutes to it a day. Within a week, you're going to have it's going to be pretty much maxed out. Don't do it to where it's going to kind of like drain your energy. Like, just take your time with it. It doesn't have to be something done right away. Even just right now, this creative player is going to be better than anybody you can get off the market at shortstop. Whatever, you could do whatever position you want. You could even do a catcher. It's a free card. Just takes a little bit of time to grind it up, and it's going to be worth it. You get a switch hitter. You get to pick his batting stance, and he's just unreal. So yeah, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions at all, again, I know I was all over the place. If you have any questions at all, put them in the comment section. I will respond as soon as possible to every comment. Hoping that this helps out a lot of people, that this gives you a better understanding so that you're not kind of just copying what everyone else is doing and not really knowing what's going on, in case there is a different archetype you wanted to use, or in case you're wondering like, hey, I'm using the same exact loadout as that guy. Why is mine not any good? It's because you got to work on those base stats. So I'm going to show you one last thing. Okay, so last thing. If you want to see what you can get your attributes to, this is a pretty easy way to do it. So you can see right now, the 50s that I have on my character right now, they're 50s because I maxed them out. Everything starts at 30. I think I already told you guys that. So stealing, I can still get +12 in stealing, and I can still get +5 in arm strength. Obviously, bunting, I could get +20. So +5 in arm strength, +12 in stealing. So if we want to see what our guy can get up to, we're just going to press, we're going to go to a game. It only shows in game. That's why we're doing it this way. So my guy right now has 94 arm. We could get that to 99. And stealing, he has 61. We could get that to 73 because the +12 that we're still missing from getting him capped at 50. So essentially, this is the best cap you can make. Like, I did the work for you guys so you wouldn't have to. As far as like trying to figure out what the best cap is gonna be. Yeah, I really hope this answered some question. Hope this helped you guys kind of understand it a little more, so it's not just a foreign concept to you. Again, if you guys have any questions, put it in the comments. Thank you so much. We're going to be trying to upload a lot more. We're not going to take another 1-year hiatus. So if you guys can hit that subscribe button, it'll mean a lot. A lot went into this video. I've been grinding nonstop on these archetypes for the past 3 days. So yeah, I appreciate it. I'll see you guys soon. And again, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and yeah, thank you.